Hi, I'm a Dr. Eddie Caparucci, and today what I want to talk to you about is the idea of why we need preparation when it comes to dealing with the pornography or sexual addiction. I gave a workshop out in Santa Barbara, California, 3 weeks ago on this topic, and I was approached by several of the men there who said to me, "Go, we really need you to put this down on a video and talk to other people about it." So that's what this is about today. The thing is with a sexual addiction or pornography addiction, as we know, we're dealing with impulsive or compulsive behavior where people are just acting, whether it is something they know they shouldn't do, but they feel they can't help themselves, or they just go there without giving it any thought. Part of the way of dealing with all of this is to not get blindsided. What I mean by that is the need for preparation. What we should do, if you want to get good at anything, what do you need to do? You need to practice, you need to rehearse, you need to put in the time and effort before you get to that place where you're going to actually perform or engage in something. And it's no different here when we're dealing with any type of addictive behavior. It is about setting up and developing new neural pathways in our brain. For example, the neural pathway that I need porn, I need to go to that massage parlor, I need to have it, which of course we know, and they've known for 20, 30 years. They've talked about the idea there is no need for sex. There's a desire, but not a need. Therefore, we're trying to change the neural pathway to, this idea of, what, I can control that need I think I have. I can control whether or not I want to engage or not engage. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Because if we do not prepare ourselves, we're going to get in trouble. And I'll give you a quick example. Let's say, you have a problem with, lusting at other people, and you have to head off to the grocery store, and you're just going to walk in. You haven't given it any thought. You get in there, and all of a sudden, your eyes are everywhere. You're very distracted. What should have taken you 10 minutes to do, you're in there now for 35, 40 minutes because you're just, observing everyone around you and maybe even engaging in some fantasy. What would have happened if you had been taking the time before you go on that trip to say, you know what? Have to learn to control my eyes. I need to learn how to keep them focused. And I'm going to go in there and I know what I need to get. I know where it's located. And that's what I'm going to do. While you continue to do your other work, hopefully with your counselor and group on how to stop objectifying women, what you're also doing is preparing yourself for if, in that case, if I do get that opportunity. Let's say you're one of these people who, people leave the house and all of a sudden it's like, oh, there's an opportunity. And with that opportunity, I think I'm now going to watch porn and masturbate. Well, we have to start preparing ourselves, but not when people leave the house. We have to prepare ourselves while people are in the house. You know what? No, that's not an option for me. I'm not going to take advantage of that opportunity that is there. Because see, what happens is when people start to leave the house, your amygdala, okay, which is again that uh, emotional thermostat that regulates emotional pain and pleasure, start to run amok, and you start thinking about, ooh, the pleasure aspect of it. And what happens? The amygdala will hijack the brain. And especially the prefrontal cortex, where we do all of our rational thinking. So, therefore, I'm not being even rational at the moment. All I'm thinking about is, oh, I just want to go and do that. The house is empty. I've taken advantage. I want to take advantage of an opportunity. I have to be thinking before that opportunity happens. I have to be able to start training my prefrontal cortex that, you know what? No, we will not be taking advantage of opportunities in the future. There is no point in doing that. We will go back and look at all of the reasons why, addressing our emotional triggers and why they get activated, our inner child gets activated. We're going to go through all of that. And we're going to do that every day. It'll take you 3 minutes, maybe at the most. Maybe you do it several times a day. I hope you would. But that's part of what we want to do. The other thing we want to do also, though, is when we're thinking about the idea of, the amygdala going to take over. And it's like, yeah, all right, you know what? That's not what I want. It's to start looking at, imagery. What are some imagery you can engage in that will help to calm down the amygdala, because now the opportunity of that happened. I want to calm the amygdala down, and I want to focus again. I want the prefrontal cortex. So, what's your safe haven? What is it that you rely on? Think about maybe a friend or a family member. Um, it could be some sort of religious belief that you have, something that soothes you. I have my Labradors that are around me. They soothe me a lot. Okay, I can think about them and what goes on with them. I can think about my family. My safe haven is a beachfront, the sand and the ocean and the sound of the water. That's mine. And what I do is I keep that front and center during the time when I find, okay, I'm starting to get dysregulated. I start to do that, and that starts to bring me back down, so I become regulated. But see, that's part of the problem when we run off to engage in any kind of problematic sexual behavior. We become emotionally dysregulated, and we need to be able to soothe ourselves so that we don't. And so, therefore, it comes back down to slow everything down. I slow it all down. I think, all right, I've been preparing before. People are leaving the house. It's not an option. Okay, what's the imagery? What am I creating in my mind that helped to slow down that amygdala to get me thinking? And then I move to, after doing that and calming myself down, then I move to a healthy choice. You know what? I think I'm going to go work on something out in the yard, or I'm going to go take a walk, or, whatever it may be. I'm going to go grab a good book and sit down and read it. And now, because you are now regulated, the desire to run off to look at pornography or engage in some sort of other problematic sexual behavior has decreased. It's diminished. And that's where we want to keep it. That's part of what has to happen with you. You need to continue to be doing this on a regular basis to start preparing. What do I do? What do I do if I go to the store? What do I do if a woman tries to flirt with me? Depending on what your problem is in the sexual world, but if a woman comes and flirt with you, maybe you are drawn to her like, moth to a flame. Okay, what do I do if that happens? How do I manage that? How do I manage it if people are gone and I have an opportunity to look at porn? What do I do then? And look at the scenarios, write them down, play them out in your head. How am I going to handle that? And then with that, using again the imagery when the situation's starting to arise. Okay, and the woman came and flirted. Well, very said, hey, I'm gonna just kind of cut her short. Thank you, very good. Take care. And as I move away, okay, and to help me not linger on her, that's where I'm going to go to my imagery. Okay, I'll give you a real quick example. I was at the American Association of Christian Counselors about a month ago. 6,000 counselors, probably 65% of them women. Many of them very attractive women. My wife was with me, but she had a lot of work she did, so we didn't go to many of the sessions together. Um, So I'm preparing myself. I go, all right, you're going to be surrounded by women, and I don't want to objectify anyone. Again, I want to treat everyone. They're all children of God, men and women, but these are all the daughters of the King. So what I did was as I was walking through the convention hall and I was, just getting ready to go to different meetings or I was in a meeting, I sat there and I sang. I kind of sang out loud, and I'm not a good singer, so please excuse me, but it was like, how great is our God? Sing with me, how great is our God. And I kept over and over and over. That's what I did the entire week. And it just put me in this wonderful place where I made sure that the way I looked at these women were they were my sisters in Christ. And that's the way I needed to approach them and look at them. So, anyway, that gives you a little bit of an example of what I'm talking about. I hope that you found it very interesting. And if you did, if you can go out and share it with other people, it'd be greatly appreciated. And if you get a chance, check out my website, www.inner-sexaddiction.com. Again, that's www.innerchild sexaddiction.com. Learn about the inner child and how it impacts your sexual addiction, your pornography addiction. Learn how the unresolved childhood pain points still haunt us today, but that there's something we can do about it. Because again, at the heart of all addiction is our inability to sit with that emotional distress. God bless all of you.